Alright, YouTube. I went to go get this thing smogged and did not pass. The reason being is the NOx was a little high. So what I'm going to be doing is putting in a new catalytic converter. Now, I live in California, and the new law says you have to have a cat that has a D on it. And then the rest of the code has to match your vehicle or the vehicle type. This is a universal weld-in type, so I'm going to be cutting out the old one and welding in this guy. They're multi-directional, doesn't matter which way it goes. Let's see if I can find the arrow. There's actually an arrow on here that says both ways. Some of them may only point one way, but this one so that I can put it in both ways. So the cat is actually located on the back, the passenger side, underneath this skid plate, right up in there. A little hard to see. So I'll be taking the skid plate down and placing it from there. So to get this plate off, you're gonna need a 3/4 inch socket. And there's 3 bolts on both sides. You have one up here, one in the middle, and one in the back on both sides. So there's 6 bolts total. So we're gonna go ahead and crack it loose, and then I'm gonna put that jack right underneath the middle of it and see if I can lower this side down and work on what I need to work on. Alright, so we're gonna start with loosening up the bolts on the other side, the driver's side, and then take the bolts off on the passenger side completely so I can access the catalytic converter. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it right past that weld there, and then right past this weld right here. It's hard to see. Sorry guys. There you go. It's right back here. Okay. So it's roughly 19 inches cut that I'm doing. What I have here are some extensions here to extend this, and also here to extend it. So it's a little over 19. I think it's about an inch on both sides, so we'll give it 21 inches total. But you don't want to cut the full 21 because then you won't have anything to overlap the old pipe. Okay, so we're going to cut the back one first, being that that's all suspended by brackets, and then we'll cut the front one. That's suspended by the engine, so it'll be less vibration if you cut it, the back one to the front one. If you do the front one to the back one, you're gonna have a really hard time cutting that back weld because everything's just gonna be shaking. Okay, so now that I got the 2 ends welded on, I'm gonna make sure that the thing that says top is pointed up towards the car. And then I'm going to slide it over the pipe. But before I do that, I want to make a measurement of the actual end to end and mark on both ends of the pipe so I know I have good overlap on both ends. Alright guys, got it welded up. Gonna put the pan bolts back in and take her off the jack stands, and I'll start her up and see how it sounds. Alright, thanks guys for watching. Alright guys, so after my smog test on Tuesday, I passed the 15 mile an hour, but did not pass the 25 mile an hour. As you can see here, the top sheet is the pass failed, the bottom sheet is the pass. So you can see here, these are my numbers from before, 0.0 or 0.2 on the 15 and 0.1 on the 25. I went down to 0.0 for passing. You look at my HC numbers, I was 58 and 55. I went down to 14 and 11. And then you look at my CO numbers, I was 0.08 and 0.12. I went down to 0 and 0.01. And then this is the biggest one, 275 and 287 down to 5 and 5. So the only thing I did to help pass is I replaced the catalytic inverter, like you guys saw in the video, and then I also added a quart of denatured alcohol into the gas. So that pretty much was all that I did, and those are the numbers I got. So I recommend, if you guys are borderline passing, I recommend to put some denatured alcohol in there, and or replace the cat as well.